All rise, please. Everybody stand. County Court number 2 is now in session. Honorable Judge Victor Villarreal is presiding.
Welcome to Webb County Court of Law 2. Please be seated. Today we have some very special guests. Will the students from Yack Elementary please stand and be recognized? Welcome, you may be seated. Other special guests include students from Milton Elementary. Will the students, teachers, and sponsors please stand and be recognized? Welcome, you may be seated. Other special guests include students from McDonald Elementary. Will the students, teachers, and sponsors please stand and be recognized? Welcome, you may be seated. Other special guests include students from Farias Elementary. Would the students, teachers, and their sponsors please stand and be recognized? Other special guests include the students from Mary Help of Christians. Would the students, their sponsors, and teachers please stand and be recognized? Welcome, please be seated. We have 3 honored guests who are also sponsors of our mock trial. Senator Judith Sabrini, Webb County Commissioner John Galen, Texas Parks and Wildlife Commissioner Anna Galen. The sponsors joining us today are John Donor, Sergio Mora from Frontera Radio, Other honored guests joining us today are Joe Arciniega, the distinguished businessman, actor, and and we also have the Honorable Sheriff Martin Yack, and we also acknowledge the assistance of Ms. Patty Tequerina.
Your Honor, the case of J.G. Giant versus Yack and the Frijol Stalk is now ready for trial.
Very well. The prosecutor is Cecia Rodriguez, and her star witness is J.G. Giant. Please raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
The defendant, Yack III, is represented by his attorney, Iris Vasquez Guerrero. Please raise your right hand. Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, to help you God?
I do.
Another witness for the prosecution is Dumbo, the flying elephant. Please raise your right front foot. Do you solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
The witness for the defense is Yack's mama, Yacky. Please raise your right hand. Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth so help you God?
I do.
I understand that the charges against Yack and the Frijol Stalk are theft, trespassing, breaking and entering, and attempted murder. Is everyone ready to proceed?
Yes, Your Honor.
Will the bailiff and deputy bailiff please swear in the jury?
Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, will you please rise and raise your right hands, please? Do you solemnly swear that you will listen to all the testimony today and decide these issues fairly?
I do.
Do you swear that you will not discuss this case with anyone until after you have reached the verdict?
I do.
Thank you. You may have a seat. Your Honor, the jury has been sworn in and we're now ready to proceed.
Very well. Does the prosecution have an opening statement?
Yes, Your Honor. The prosecution will show that Yack is guilty of theft, which is the same as stealing. Guilty of trespassing, which means entering the property without the owner's permission. Guilty of breaking and entering, which is entering a building by force for the purpose of stealing. And guilty of attempted murder, which means trying to kill someone, but thankfully failing. We will prove that este chavo broke into the giant's home not once, but not twice, but 3 times. Tres veces. This arrogant punk se jambó not only the giant's chicken that laid golden eggs, but also his golden eggs, his golden coins, and golden maracas. When the homeowner ran after him, este sangroncito viciously, mercilessly tried to kill him. Bien gacho. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, when you hear the evidence, you most certainly will agree that Yack is guilty of theft, guilty of trespassing, guilty of breaking and entering, and guilty of attempted murder. Thank you.
Counsel for the defense?
Yes, Your Honor. We will show that Yack is innocent of all charges. The prosecutor's argument no vale ni un chicle ni un cacahuate. It's puro guato. Absolutely worthless. It's really not worth 2 cents or even 2 salted peanuts. We also will show that this young, overeager prosecutor anda bien enchilada. Hotter than a chili pepper in her attack. She wants to unfairly punish this brave hijito, this darling mama's boy who risked his life to get back his dead papi's treasures and to protect and feed his widowed mommy and himself. The giant's wife, Jolly White, invited Yackito in. So how could that be trespassing or breaking and entering? It's true. The giant fell when Yack chopped down his own Frijol Stalk. But Yack didn't know the giant was on it. And that big, hard-headed giant wasn't even hurt. Probably because that cabezón is so cabezudo. How can that be attempted? Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, you most certainly will disappoint the prosecution when you hear the evidence and find Yack and the Frijol Stalk innocent of all charges. Thank you.
The prosecution may call its first witness.
The prosecution calls our star witness, J.G. Giant.
JG Giant.
What does JG stand for?
Joey George, but my friends call me Jolly Green. Ho, 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 Green Giant.
Okay, Johnny Green. I'll skip the ho 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 and tell us about the experience that you had with Yack and the Frijol Stalk.
Okay. I came home one day and I smelled the kid. Puchi! Dios mío! My word. I started singing my favorite song. Fee, fi, fo, fum. I smell the blood of a Laredo one. Be he alive and surely not dead, I'll invite him to sit and share my bread. Then I saw Yack hiding in my oven, like he was inviting us to bake him. Talk about I smelled him out though and told him, hit the road, Yack, and don't you come back no more, no more, no more, no more. Hit the road, Yack, and don't you come back no more.
Tell us what happened next, please.
Se chisqueó, echó máquina. That huerquito mocoso mentiroso hit the road so hard and looked so scared, I never thought I'd see the snotty kid again.
Then what happened?
My sweet wife, Jolly White Giant, told me I scared him away because of my size, especially my big mouth and teeth. She likes to call me hocicón.
How tall are you?
101 feet and 2.5 inches.
Excuse me, you certainly don't look that tall today.
Well, that's because the cheetah in Wonderland gave me and my wife shrinking pills. So we could fit in an Uber and in the courtroom and not scare the jurors. So today I'm only 6 feet tall.
How nice of the cheetah. Please continue.
The next morning, dear Jolly White was sad and totally agitada because Yack had stolen our centenarios. Good thing I had this one in my pocket, or he would have taken it too.
What is a centenario?
See, it's a solid gold coin, originally worth at least 100 pesos, now worth much more.
Well, that's a fun fact.
I inherited lots of them from my grandmother. Dale píquele la panza. That's Spanish for poke my belly, which she always did.
Was that the last time you saw that little pachuco robot? That leading little hoodlum?
Objection, Your Honor. The prosecutor is being argumentative and insulting.
Sustained. The jury will disregard that insult.
The next time, he stole my golden maracas. And third, he took my beloved pollita de oro and her golden eggs.
Are these your golden maracas?
Yes, and I want them back. I can't dance the cha-cha-cha without them.
And are these the golden eggs that were missing?
Yes, and I need them back and my pollita too.
JD, did you or your wife ever do anything to make Yack mad? Le picaron los ojos, or why would he want to steal from you? Surely, you poked his eyes or something.
He's just a mean, greedy, sneaky little kid. Typical human.
Objection, Your Honor. Character evidence. The witness has no right to continue to insult my client.
The objection is sustained. Counselor, please control your comment.
My apologies, Your Honor. We'll do better. When was the last time you saw Yack?
When he ran away with my golden gallinita and her eggs. I chased him down the Frijol Stalk. When he hit the ground, he chopped it down with his machete. I fell from the sky, but gracias a Dios, my head is so darn thick, it didn't crack.
So, you're lucky to be alive.
even though Yack tried to kill me, and thanks to my cabeza de tierra, no bruises on this hard-as-a-rock head.
Pass the witness.
Does the defense wish to cross-examine this witness?
Yes, Your Honor. Giant, didn't Yack hear you singing fee, fi, fo, fum? I smell the blood of a Laredoan. Be he alive, or be he dead, I'll grind his bones to bake my bread.
Oh, no. My older carnal, Bibi the Third, sings that version, but I don't.
Your older brother, Bibi the Third. What does Bibi stand for?
Big bad?
Big Bad. As in Big Bad Wolf?
Yes.
And did you say the third?
Yes.
So your father was Big Bad Giant Junior, and your grandfather was Big Bad Giant Senior?
Yes. But I'm the good one. I'm the jolly one. Ho, 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 green giant.
Isn't it true, Giant, that boys and girls everywhere are afraid of you because your favorite food is taquitos de niño?
Again, you are confusing me with Big Bad Giant Third, or maybe even Junior, or Senior. I invite children to lunch, not eat them for lunch.
What does taquitos de niño mean in English?
You know what that means. Tortillas with cooked kiddos, usually thighs or bellies or little fingers.
That's disgusting. Weren't you with your brother and his guests who were seen picking up taquitos de niños and eating them with your fingers?
With their fingers? No, hombre, no way. They eat the niños' fingers separately. Then eat the fries. Más o menos like fried chicken fingers from Wendy's. Que ricos. Yum.
I'm sorry. That's repulsive. Que asco. Had you ever met the defendant before? Yack the Third, or Yaquito as we call him?
No.
Did you or your father or grandfather ever do business with Yack's father, Yack Jr., or Yacote as we call him?
No.
Didn't your golden treasures once belong to Yacote, and before that to Yacotote?
How would I know?
Isn't it true that Yack didn't steal anything from you, that he just took back what your family stole from his? Where did you get those golden goodies?
From my grandmother, Nane Pique la Panza, who died and left them to me.
Do you know where she got them?
From my grandfather.
And do you deny that your grandfather, Big Bad Giant Senior, might have gotten or taken them from
Mira,
Yack Jr.?
babosa, I can't deny it if I don't know it, idiot.
Objection, Your Honor.
Giant, no matter how big you are, in this courtroom, you must be respectful. One more insult like that, I'm going to fine you $500 and hold you in contempt of court.
I'm sorry, Judge. I was trying to be polite. That's why I called her babosa, an idiot, instead of another word I really wanted to call her.
You need to try harder, please. Counselor, please proceed. Let's move on.
Thank you, Your Honor. When was the last time you saw your brother, Big Bad Giant III?
We had lunch at his house yesterday.
What did he serve?
The usual, our family favorite. Taquitos de ni...
And that's exactly why Yaquito ran away from you. No more questions.
You may step down. Before the prosecution calls its next witness, the court would like to recognize an honored guest who has joined us, who is also a sponsor of our mock trial, Texas Parks and Wildlife Commissioner Ana Galo. The prosecution may call its next witness.
The prosecution calls Dumbo.
Dumbo Jr., the flying elephant. I star in evening shows at the tap room in downtown Laredo. Some customers never see me even when I'm the only elephant in the room.
Why are you such an attraction?
Well, most people have seen a housefly or a dragonfly, but they've never seen an elephant fly.
How did you meet the giants?
I burned my feet while walking to La Posada Hotel and Suites on Canicula.
The canicula. That's the hottest time of the year.
Believe-
Another fun fact.
Believe me, I found out the hard way. The next day I was flying over the Giants' home and got really tired because my feet were bandaged so heavily. The Giants found me snacking in a field of delicious wild weeds, and they said I could come by every day and eat all the weeds I want. They said that it would save them a lot of work.
Tell us what you know about what happened between Jolly Green Giant and Yack in the Frijol Stalk.
One day I heard the Giant singing, "Fee, fi, fo, fum, I smell the blood of a Laredo one. Be he alive and surely not dead, I'll invite him to sit and share my breakfast." Later I saw Yack running from Jolly Green's house. He was carrying a bag of centenarios.
Ah. What other times did you see Yack?
Another time I saw him rushing down the Frijol Stalk with some golden maracas. And the last time I saw him, he had a golden chicken and her golden eggs, and he was chopping down his Frijol Stalk. I thought to myself, is it great? He must think he's George Washington chopping down his cherry tree.
Did the giants ever try to eat you?
Oh, no, they don't eat animal meat, especially not gorduta grasosa or like fatty flesh like mine. But just like most dogs, they really like sucking on bones, especially little delicate ones, son chupones. In fact, instead of saying provecho in Spanish or bon appetit in French, they say bon appetit.
No more questions.
Does the defense wish to cross-examine this witness?
Yes, Your Honor. Dumbo, Jumbo, what other friends or family do you have in Laredo?
None.
Did your mother, Mrs. Jumbo, teach you to be kind to everyone?
She sure did.
So you would do anything to help a friend, including Jolly Green, right?
Of course.
Isn't it true that whatever the giant says, let's sigue la onda, or you go with the flow?
Pretty much, casi siempre. After all, free food is the key to my heart.
I thought so. By the way, we all admire your big ears. What do you use them for?
Mostly to fly, of course.
Do you also use them to hear?
Not really.
How do you hear?
Mostly through my feet. You can read about it in Wikipedia. Sound travels from the bottom of my feet to my toenails, through my trunk, and finally to my ears.
Do all elephants hear through their feet?
We do.
Now that's a fun fact I'll bet no one in this courtroom knew.
Well, since humans hear through their ears, they wrongly think all animals do, but we don't.
Were your feet bandaged when you visited the giant?
Heavily. I just took my bandages off so I could come to court and hear you.
How did bandaging affect your feet, affect your hearing?
I couldn't hear.
Then how could you hear the giant singing?
Oh, well, I mean, como se dice, oh dear. Well, his mouth was moving, and he told me he was singing.
Did the giant tell you what he was singing?
Oh, he did.
And then you agreed to come to court and say that's what you heard.
Well, I figured if that's what he said, that must be what I heard, especially because I couldn't hear at the time.
And you just wanted to help because they're your only friends.
Yes, and because of the 3 weeks, I saw no harm.
Have you ever met Yack in the Frijol Stalk?
No.
Do you have any reason to think he was stealing instead of just taking back what belonged to his dead father and now should be his?
No reason.
Does Yack seem like a nice young man, like someone you might like to be friends with?
He sure does.
Objection, Your Honor. Character evidence. Counselor is asking Dumbo to make assumptions about Yack's character.
Correct. The objection is sustained. The jury will disregard statements about Yack's character.
Thank you, Your Honor. No more questions.
You are excused.
The prosecution rests, Your Honor.
The defense may now call its first witness.
The defense calls Yack in the Frijol Stalk. Please state your name and age.
Yack the third. My mom calls me Yaquito. I am 12 years old.
Tell the jury about you and your family.
My father, Yack Jr., died when I was only 8 years old. All of a sudden, my mother and I were so poor we didn't even have enough to eat.
How did you and your mother support yourselves after your father died?
The only thing we had left was our vaca preciosa, Roberta Rodriguez. My mother and I supported ourselves by selling our precious cows fresh milk and our homemade butter and cheese and leche quemada candy at the farmer's market at Jarvis Plaza. When Roberta dried up, we had to sell her to survive.
To whom did you sell her?
I sold her to a viejita. The little old lady said she gave me magic beans.
What did they look like?
They look just like pinto beans, but they tasted like green apples, so we used them to make some delicious pops. Look, I brought some for the court, but I don't want to give you anything, sir, because no le quiero dar la barba. I don't want to be accused of bribery.
That's a wise move. Bribery is against the law, and it's punishable by jail time. That's a legal fun fact.
Why did you name your cow Roberta Rodriguez?
Well, in honor of Robert Rodriguez of El Rey Network. He made my favorite movie, Spy Kids, and works with my hero El Machete. Robert's awesome, and so was our cow.
Robert Rodriguez certainly is awesome. Please continue.
Well, my mother was furiosa when I came home with only frijoles and without money or food. She was so furious she started crying, sent me to bed without dinner, and threw the frijoles out the window.
Then what happened?
In the morning, like magic, there was an amazing, humongously high frijol stalk loaded with beans. Híjole, super padre. I was so excited, super pumped. I was like, "Guáchame, mama. Check this out, mom. I'm going to climb it and go knocking on heaven's door." Then I realized what this meant for us. We have enough beans to eat and to support ourselves for the rest of our lives. We could open an El Rey of the Frijoles, the King of the Beans restaurant, and sell taquitos de frijoles con weenies, frijoles refritos con patitas de puerco, tortas de frijol con chicharrones, and the list goes on and on. Beans with everything from pig's feet to chitterlings. We could even sell jelly beans and Boston baked beans for postre or merienda. But our best seller for snacks and desserts, however, was our Yack.
So, what did you do?
I shouted, "Beam me up, Scotty!" Then I climbed and climbed, and that frijol stalk, I was thinking of how to advertise our new bean business, maybe with a little poem. Beans, beans, the magical food, the more you eat them, the better you feel. So let's have beans at everything. Finally, I came to a city high in the sky, Las Nubes. That's Spanish for the clouds.
Then what?
I ran into Mrs. Giant, who invited me into her giant kitchen when she heard her husband was coming over, singing about cooking Laredoans into bread. She made me hide in the oven. Just when I heard them talking about taquitos de niño and pan de niño, I ran out of the kitchen. I realized she tricked me. The oven was on and I was about to start baking. I ran out, climbed on the frijol stalk, and I ran home.
Did you visit the giant's home again?
Several times. Each time the giantess invited me in, and each time I managed to escape when I heard her husband singing about grinding the bones of Laredoans and making us into bread or taco meat.
Did you take the golden coins, golden maracas, and the chicken that laid the golden eggs?
I did.
You admit you stole them from the giant?
I did not steal them.
Please explain yourself, young man.
They belonged to my father. I just took them back from my mother.
What proof do you have that they belong to your father?
We have pictures of my father before he died. He loved to sing and play his golden maracas with los mariachis del barrio. And he supported us by selling golden eggs laid by the oldest chicken, especially for East Star Bunny's annual egg hunts. The pictures prove that, and more. They show him and my grandfather with the giants, babeando, drooling over them.
How did Jolly Green get your father's golden goodies?
I heard my father was cheated out of them by this big Chueco partner in a big Chueco business deal. He was bamboozled by a bunch of crooks.
Did you steal anything from the Giants?
No way, Jose. I just took what was my father's and now my birthright as his first and only son.
Did you trespass onto his property or break and enter into his home for any evil purpose?
Nunca. Jolly White Giant invited me in each time, but I left when I got scared. Those golosos, asustosos, might grind my bones and cook me into their pan de niños. They sounded like giant, hungry chupacabras.
Did you try to kill the Giant?
Why would I even think about taking on a giant? I'm Yack in the Frijol Stalk, not David the Goliath. When I got away from the giant, I was scared to death and thought, what would El Machete do? Then, I grabbed my machete to cut down our only connection to him. I never wanted to see that niño-eating giant again.
Did you know he was chasing you down the Frijol Stalk when you chopped it down?
No, it was too high for me to see.
Did you at any time consider killing him?
Never. I just wanted to protect and separate myself and my mother from him and the other child-eating giants.
Pass the witness.
Does the prosecution wish to cross-examine this witness?
Yes, Your Honor. Yeah, that is quite a fractured fairy tale you just told us.
Objection, Your Honor. The prosecutor is being argumentative. Besides, everyone knows Jolly Green and Yack and their families live in fractured fairy tale land. It's Jack and the Beanstalk who lives in traditional fairy tale land.
You are correct. Sustained. The jury will disregard that statement.
When you supposedly discovered your father's missing items that were at Mr. and Mrs. Giant's home, did you tell your mother?
No, ma'am.
Did you tell your teachers?
No, ma'am.
Did you tell a police officer or our sheriff?
No, ma'am. Just like the Spy Kids, I handled it myself. They didn't tell their parents or the police or sheriff either.
So you decided to take matters into your own hands and steal them.
Objection, Your Honor. The question calls for a legal conclusion. It's up to the jury to determine if Yack is guilty of theft.
You are correct, Counselor. Your objection is sustained.
What proof do you have that the golden items belong to your father?
Lots of pictures.
So you said earlier, but I didn't see any. Can you by any chance produce those pictures?
I can.
Objection! Your Honor, those pictures were not introduced into evidence during direct examination, and they shouldn't be brought up now.
I deliberately didn't introduce them, Your Honor, because I just knew the prosecutor would object, and I was afraid she would block their admission into the record. Now she brought them up, she opened the door, and she asked Yack if he could produce those pictures. Yack said he could. Now she would have the opportunity to do so.
No, I didn't.
Yes, you did.
No, I didn't.
Yes, you did.
Let's settle this without arguing. Will the deputy court reporter please read back the transcript?
Prosecutor, can you produce those pictures for me?
Well, Miss Prosecutor, you did indeed open the door. Your objection is overruled. The witness will produce the pictures.
Yes, sir. Here they are. There are lots of pictures of my father and my grandfather with Jolly Green's father and grandfather and all their golden items I took back. You can see the giants and babiando drooling all over them.
Did I ask you to describe them? No, I did not. And I am not asking that those pictures be admitted into the record. Did the giants attend your father's funeral?
We didn't have a funeral.
Why not?
We never found his body. Maybe the giants ate him.
No further questions, Your Honor.
You are excused, young man. The defense may call its next witness.
The defense calls Yack, mother of Yack, in the Frijol Stalk. State your name, please.
Yacky, widow of Yack Jr. and mother of Yackito.
Were you and your husband
were. As Yack and Yacky, we were often compared to former United States President Jack and Jackie Kennedy. Parents of Jack Jr. we called Jackie, though.
And like the Kennedys, when your husband was alive, you gave money to education, children's programs, and you ran for public office?
We certainly did. He was a Yackable. He loved to contribute, especially to education. And Yack Sr. was a president, too, of the school board.
Why did your husband go broke?
I only know that one day we were on top of the world, and the next my husband died, leaving us penniless. And after a disagreement and shenanigans caused by his silent business partner, Chapucero, puros chanchullos. As my mother said, there tenía que haber un cucaracho en el caldo. There must have been a roach in the soup. Talk about shady characters.
And his business partner was?
Big Bad Giant Sr.
And for the record, he was Jolly Green Giant's grandfather and husband of Nana Pica la Panza?
Exactly.
Do you believe Yack stole the golden treasures from the Jolly Green Giant?
I know he didn't. Those items belonged to Yacote and Yacotote, and Yaquito had every right to get them back for us. There was no other way to get them since it's impossible to negotiate with those baby finger-eating giants. And everyone is scared to death of the big bad giants who are famous for eating Laredoans, especially our little ones.
Why do you say they eat Laredoans?
Before our city leaders cut off ties with Las Nubes, the giants used to bully us. They especially picked on us because we don't eat animals and we eat only vegetables. We call ourselves vegetarians. The giants don't eat vegetables, they eat only humans. They call themselves humanitarians. They are evil and they think that's funny. I think they're scary and that's hardly a fun fact. It almost boosts.
Objection, Your Honor. Hearsay.
No, Your Honor, it is not hearsay. Yacky heard that herself.
That is correct. The objection is overruled.
Who cut off connections with the giant?
My father-in-law, Yack Locote, and other Laredo leaders. They made sure those giants could never get to us ever again. Then Big Bad Giant Sr. called in Yacote supposedly to discuss how to continue their business. Next thing we knew, they told us that he was dead, and all our golden treasures were gone. We never saw them again. The only thing we had left was our cow. She was so sad when her BFF, the golden chicken, went missing. I think she dried up out of loneliness and a broken heart. Told her I'd eat that.
If you never saw your husband again, how did you know he was dead?
The giants told us. And we never saw them again either until today. We thought they had eaten him.
Oh my! Now that you have your golden treasures back, are you and Yaquito back to living in high style?
No. We are waiting for the judge and jury to decide if Yack was right to take back what was ours.
Do you trust the judge and jury to make the right decision?
Yes, and Yack and I will abide by their decision. If they decide he stole, we will give everything back, but we hope they won't.
Pass the witness.
Does the prosecutor wish to cross-examine this witness?
Yes, Your Honor. Ma'am, did you give your son permission to break into Jolly Green's home and steal his golden treasures?
He didn't break in, he was invited. And he didn't steal, he took back what was ours.
Isn't it true that Yack is a smart aleck who's always talking back?
If he acts up, I tell him, yakety yak, don't talk back.
Did you punish Yack for selling your cow for frijoles mágicos instead of for money, for food?
I sent him to bed without dinner, but really it was because we had no food.
Did you give Yack permission to climb the stalk and visit the giant?
No, I didn't even know where he went.
So, what kind of mother are you? you to Child Protective Services.
Objection, Your Honor, Yacky.
No need to explain, Counselor. Yack is not on trial here, only Yack is. And only charges against him can be considered. Your objection is sustained.
Are you?
The jury will most certainly disregard the prosecutor's question, and the witness will not answer them.
Are you proud of what your son did?
Very proud. That like any red-blooded 12-year-old boy or girl, Yack took charge. Just like the Spy Kids, he knew the Giants had a reputation for eating niños, and he stood up to them to get back what was taken from his papi. Would I approve of his doing so? No. I value his life more than his father's gold.
So you think he should have taken the matters into his own hands?
No, I wish he had called the Laredo police or the Webb County Sheriff instead, or told me or his teacher. That's what children should do when they see something wrong.
That's right. Are you glad he did?
Yes, but only because he is safe.
Do you have any pictures of yourself and your husband in the presence of these golden items?
Yes, let me show you.
No. I did not ask you to produce them, and I am not falling for that one again. You know what they say, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me, and that is a great fun fact, ladies and gentlemen. No further questions.
You are excused.
We have no more witnesses, Your Honor. The defense rests.
Very well. We will now hear closing arguments. Is the prosecutor ready?
Yes, Your Honor. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, you have heard from one of Disney's most lovable fantasy figures, Dumbo the Flying Elephant. She herself saw Yack take the golden centenarios, the golden maracas, and the golden chicken with her golden eggs from the home of my client, Jolly Green Giant. Yack stole what clearly was not his. He trespassed onto Jolly Green's property and broke and entered into Jolly Green's home without his permission. Even if he was right, he should have told his mother, his teacher, the police, our sheriff. The ends do not justify the means. Instead of reporting what he thought might be a crime, he himself became a criminal. He's just a sneaky kid, not a spy kid. And there's no question about his breaking and entering into the Giant's home to steal. Not once, not twice, but 3 times. And as soon as he got his golden loot, he didn't give a hoot about his magic beans. He chopped down his own Frijol Stalk. He couldn't have cared less about sending Jolly Green to an early death and leaving Jolly White, a lonely widow, just like his mother. That clearly is attempted murder. You've heard of the Jolly Green Giant. You've probably seen him in TV. Ho, 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 Green Giant. How could you possibly think that he could be a danger to Yack in any way? Much less even think of grinding his bones into his bread? That is a giant lie, and I don't mean a giant white lie. Please, please, don't be fooled by this young chapucero and his counsel and his mother. This little character is guilty of theft, guilty of trespassing, guilty of breaking and entering, and guilty of attempted murder. He has broken the law and should be taken away from his negligent mother and sent to live in the youth village with other little criminals. Thank you.
Counsel for the defense.
Thank you, Your Honor. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, wow, that was harsh. Talk about a mad dog prosecutor. She certainly means well, but put yourself in Yack's place. What if you had a rich father who suddenly lost all his money and died, leaving your beloved mother a widow and you, now 12 years old, fatherless, with only a dried-up old cow to support you? What if you then found golden treasures that your father lost in a bad business deal that no one could explain? And what if they were in the home of a giant who had a reputation for eating children like you, and who might have even eaten your father? Would you stop to negotiate with the beast? Or would you simply take back your inheritance and run? Now, what if the only connection to those who would eat you and steal from your family was your very own Frijol Stalk on your very own property? Wouldn't you think, dale gas, and go ahead and chop it down? Of course you would. Remember, Yack didn't know the giant was chasing him down with Frijol Stalk when he chopped it down. How is that attempted murder? Especially since there's no motive and not even a bruise or two. If you were in Yack's shoes, what would you want the jury to do? You would want the jury to find that you did the right thing, that you should keep what was once your father's and grandfather's, and that no one else could claim honesty. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, please practice the golden rule. Treat Yack and the Frijol Stalk the way you would want to be treated if you were in his shoes. Find him not guilty of all charges. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, you've now heard all of the evidence in this case. It's now up to you to decide if Yack is guilty of any or all of these charges. Please use your 10 minutes wisely to consider all of the evidence that you have heard. Bailiff, please escort the jury to the jury room to consider the verdict. All rise for the jury.
What if VIP? VIP section.
The court has been informed that the jury has reached a verdict. So let's all rise for the jury. The jurors are now back in the jury box. You may be seated. Ms. Foreperson, has the jury reached a verdict?
Yes, Your Honor.
Will the defendant and his attorney please rise? Ms. Foreperson, you may read the verdict.
We, the jury, find the defendant Yack not guilty of offense of theft. Not guilty of the offense of trespassing. We, the jury, find the defendant Yack not guilty of the offense of rape.
has been found not guilty. Thank you, boys and girls, for listening carefully and making this important decision. Boys and girls, we certainly hope that you have enjoyed today's mock trial in reaching this important.
Have you seen my wife? Have you seen my son? Yacky, Yack! Found you.
Oh, my dad.
What's going on? Who are you?
I'm Yakote. The giants kidnapped me and stole my golden treasures.
Excuse me, but we all thought, excuse me, but we all thought you were dead.
They made me their servant. They made me keep my golden treasures polished and the golden chicken producing golden eggs. When Yack tried to take our things back, they tried to kill me. But I ran away and hid. Today, when they came to court, I was able to get away. And I followed them to the courthouse. And I found you guys.
You will be happy to know, sir, that your son has been found not guilty. Is there anything you would like to tell us or tell your family?
Yes. Oh yeah, tell you something. I think you'll understand when I get that something. I wanna hold your hand. I wanna hold your hand. I wanna hold your hand. And please say to me, you'll let me be your man. And please say to me, you'll let me hold your hand. I wanna hold your hand. I wanna hold your hand.
That was unusual and highly emotional and a very loving expression. We're certainly happy for you and your family. We must continue, however, with the business at hand. The bailiff will get a seat for you. At this time, the court does want to thank you, students, and your teachers for being with us today. We hope that you have enjoyed this mock trial as much as you have learned from it. We're very especially grateful to the director of our mock trial, Mary Help of Christian Schools music teacher and drama director, Mr. Tony Bonda. And I know that you have enjoyed all of the performances today. These outstanding performances were playing the JG Giant is Mr. Jeffrey Blomquist. Yack the third, Rolando Vela. Prosecutor Cecia Rodriguez. Defense attorney Iris Vasquez Guerrero. Jumbo Victoria Sandoval. Yacky or Yack's mother, Daniela Ramon. The special appearance and surprise witness, Mr. Mike Angel. Our bailiff, Mr. Arnold Lozano. We are also very grateful to the author of both your mock trial script and your handbook, Senator Judith Zaffarini. This time, Yack and the Frijol Stalk, Johnny Green Giant, and the will be available to take pictures with you. The honored guests and sponsors are also invited to join us. We hope, students, that you have enjoyed today's mock trial that is part of our Access to Justice class in the courtroom. You saw for yourselves the importance of obeying the law and what can happen if you do not obey the law. I ask you to please come back to visit your Webb County Court of Law too, and ask your friends and family members to do the same as well. At this time, court is adjourned.